Okay, welcome to our next card in today's Peppermint and Gingerbread class, or gingerbread and Peppermint, however you want to say it. This card I have used the Memories and More cards and envelopes. So you get cards that look like this and envelopes that look like this. So you should have two in your kit. And this is the card that we're going to make with both of the cards. So it opens like so. We're going to create a bit of an aperture, and then it folds out like so. So it's a bit of a more special card, I guess you could say. And I'm going to show you how we're going to create this aperture. I also really liked these two little mitten cookies. And for me they just look like gloves, so I've created some gloves. We're also going to double side them. There's 4 on one sheet, so fussy cut them out and away we go. So to start with, to create the card, we are going to crease our edges really well. So let's just move that to one side. And this one as well. Okay. So one of them we want to open like so. The other one we want to hide this bit, so we're going to stick it down like that. But before we build this card, the most important thing to do is our aperture. So we're going to start by simply adding our piece of designer series paper to the front of one of the cards. Okay. Like so. Okay. Now if you haven't got the stitched rectangle dies, which we're going to use to make the card, I would perhaps not do the aperture and create our detail on the front. So not stick your piece of DSP on, but create your mittens design on the front of the card. Okay, so if you don't have the stitched rectangle dies or something else that you could use instead, I would go with this design. If you do have the stitched rectangle dies or something that you could use in its place, you're going to stick your piece of DSP to one of the cards, and then we're going to use our die to cut out the aperture. Okay, so I'm going to bring in my cut and emboss machine. Okay, put my pad in there, and then we're going to have the card so that it is fully open. Otherwise, the die is going to cut all the way through. Okay. We are also not going to run it all the way through. Okay, so you're going to line this up in the centre of your card, hopefully so that it's straight. Okay, you can secure it with a bit of washi tape if you need to, or just to give you a bit more peace of mind that it is definitely straight. And then we're just going to wheel that through our machine. Okay, excuse the wobble on the screen. It will make a bit of a clunk, and then wheel it back. So we're not wheeling it all the way through, we're just wheeling that first little panel through. We can then put this machine to one side and then peel out our die. Now just remember, it's going through 2 layers of card, the piece of DSP and the card base. Okay, so just be gentle with it. There we have it. So that has come through really nicely. So there we have our aperture. You've also then got this piece that you can use on another card, which is nice and handy. It's got that lovely stitching around the edge, but we're going to put that to one side for the moment. Okay, so now we have done that, we can go ahead and attach our second card. So what you're going to do is you're going to have the card open and then add your glue to where you would write your message. Okay, remember we want to cover, we don't want to see this, so that is the piece that you're going to attach inside. Okay, give that a really firm press, and then this one closes and that one goes over. So that is your 3-panel card. So we are cooking with gas, lovely. Now for our mittens, we are going to attach them. We're going to attach the outside ones first. Okay, and we're going to do that by adding just a little dash of glue to that one, and then a little dash of glue to this one. Okay, and you want them to overlap ever so slightly. And once you've done that, you can just put a little dash of glue there, push, take off any glue if you have any there. Lovely. Okay, now we're going to open it up and we're going to work on the inside now. So you're going to take a piece of white baker's twine or a piece of linen thread. It's entirely up to you. You could also use a bit of ribbon, and we're going to attach this to our card. Now you can do this either with a bit of washi tape, or you could use some double-sided tape. It's entirely up to you. You're not going to see it, so it doesn't really matter what you're going to use. I'm going to use some washi tape because it is repositionable. Okay, and then I'm going to swirl this round like so, so that we've got a nice little loop. And then attach that to your glove. Okay, snip off the excess, and then we can put on our other two mittens now to hide our workings. Okay, so use dimensionals for that, because you've got your twine or thread sitting in there. It won't lay flat, so you want to use something that gives you a bit of depth. Lay your mitten on, and then lay this one on. Okay, so there you have your little mittens. Now with this here, what I am going to do is I'm going to add just a little bit of wet glue. Again, just a real little bit, and I'm going to just pop that there. Okay, just going to use my bone folder to make sure that's in place, and then I'm going to leave that to one side. Okay, so put that over there, although I don't know why I put that over there because I need to work on this side. Okay, so open your card up, and we want to stamp this sentiment down there. So you are the icing to my gingerbread. I'm going to stamp that in real red just at the bottom like so, and then if we turn our card over like so, we're going to have wishing you a Merry Christmas in there again with real red. Okay, like so. So that's our stamping in ink done. I've then got a little gingerbread snowflake to add in the centre like so. We're going to close our card. Don't put any pressure on there because we want to make sure our twine is stuck. And then we've got our Merry Christmas. Okay, so these words, these letters have been cut using the playful alphabet dies, and I'm gonna just add them with a little bit of wet glue. Don't often use these playful alphabet dies in my kits just because the die cutting can sometimes get a bit excessive. but I really liked the way they looked on this card. Okay, so there you have your Merry. And then for Christmas, we are going to do a little bit of heat embossing, okay? I'm just going to bring in a bit of grid paper, and we want to use this stamp. Let's just stamp off the red, and we want a Versamark, okay? Go over it with your embossing buddy to start, and we only really want the word Merry. No, we don't. The only word we want is Christmas. Silly me. It's been a long afternoon of filming. I'm sure you all understand. We've then got our embossing powder. That's better. And then we're going to heat that so it sets. Lovely. We'll snip that down into a little banner. And there we have it. Just add that with a bit of wet glue. And we're done. There we have our triple card with an aperture, those lovely gloves, all finished. I've added just a couple of the little rhinestones just randomly on my card to finish it off, but that's it from me. Thanks so much for watching. Bye for now.